Well, when we talk about the issues relating to faith, we talk about the articles of faith and we say we believe in the Lord Most High, we believe in the angels, we believe in the messengers and the books, and the day of judgment, heaven and hell, and all of this is by the destiny of the Lord Most High, Allah. We start to tell ourselves, okay, then what is this truth that we're trying to get, this realization, this guidance, this purity of faith, to actually get Iman or faith in your heart, regardless of which religion you're from or who you started as, you're all searching for that truth. And if we're going to be talking about the issues of faith or creed from the one true Lord, then the issues of faith and creed have to be constant throughout all time. They're the issues of faith and creed, they're the ultimate truth. But sometimes the truth is not available for certain people, and Allah, the Most High, only knows why and when certain people get guidance. And this is an issue where for us, it's not for us to judge, because sometimes we think, oh, we see people doing this, and we see other people who are righteous, and we see people who are wrong. But none of us ever knows when guidance comes. For some of us, it could come at the bad event, and then all of a sudden their life changes and they become one of the greatest people for good. And some people who are guided their whole life, in their final moments of their life, they choose wrong course of action and they could go into misguidance. And that's why it's not for us as humans to judge other people. That's the dominion of the Lord. That's the dominion of the Lord Most High. But to understand what are the essences of faith, and the fact that it is by the destiny of the Lord sometimes for some people to not receive faith, or for people to lose their faith. For example, you may try to counsel someone to become a Muslim, and you could take them from 10 points, from all the way from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but to get them to that 10th step, to get them to get to the point where they are able to accept the truth and let it enter their heart, that's guidance. That's hidayah. That comes from the Lord. And it happens when the person's ready and able to accept the truth of what they're being told. Which is why Imam Barbahaaree gets to point number 5. And point number 5, he says, and listen to it, may Allah have mercy on you. Know that the religion is what comes from Allah, the Blessed and the Most High. It is not something left to the intellect and opinions of men. Knowledge is what comes from Allah and His Messenger. So do not follow anything based on your own desires, so that you deviate away from the religion and you leave Islam, meaning you lose the guidance that you have. There will be no excuse for you, he continues, since Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, explained the Sunnah, His way, His path, to His Ummah, to His people, to mankind, and made it clear to His companions. Meaning what? The companions, they clearly understood it. And they are the Jamaa'ah, the congregation, who preserved the Sunnah, the faith. And they are the main body. Imam Barbahaaree calls them the main body. As-Sawaad al-A'adham, the main body. And who are the main body? The main body is the truth and the followers of the truth. And so remember how we said we're trying to find this truth. And if it is true that we're saying this story is played out of our faith, regardless of which of the major faiths you're talking about, and there is a last messenger, then that last messenger's message must be consolidated and safeguarded, as Imam said in point number 4. And so know that this is not just a matter of a philosophy. This isn't some intellectual opinion. This isn't a theory. This is the truth. This is the faith of all of mankind from the very beginning to the very end. Islam is the same name of the creed, of the faith of every prophet from the beginning of time, to believe in the one true Lord. That there are angels, there are messengers and books, and a day of judgment and heaven and hell, and all of this is by the plan of the Lord. The Muslims believe in all of that, and so do many of the other faiths. But no matter who you are, whether you're a person of faith or not of faith, or grew up as a Muslim if you were so ignorantly lucky, or a person who's a Christian or Jew or any other denomination, you're always looking for the truth. And the truth must be out there, and it must be able to be found. But you have to be ready to find it. And so, Imam Barbahaaree says, there's no excuse, since the Messenger of Allah explained to you His way, His Sunnah, and left it to the Ummah, the people, and made it clear to the companions. And they are the congregation, they are the Jamaa'ah, and they are the main body who follow the truth. And those who follow them are the people of Sunnah, the Ahl Sunnah. And then he goes on to say, so anyone who contradicts the companions of Allah's Messenger in any of the affairs of the deen, of the religion, of the faith, then he has fallen into kufr. He has fallen into disbelief. And so if we go back and say, what are the stories of the people who came earlier? Each prophet came with different books and messages. And slowly over time, the people corrupted it. And the opinions were changed and the message was lost. That is not a surprise. That is the reality, and that is the truth. And so if Islam was to be preserved, then the Quran had to be maintained, and because of its poetic and beautiful nature, it was in the hearts and minds of many, many men and women all over the world. But also the Sunnah in the hearts and minds of men, preserved and contained. Yes, there are some differences on fringe issues or methodologies, but the Sunnah of the faith, and what is the true faith or creed, that is preserved and there for us to follow. So if anybody goes against the companions, and why the companions? Because the companions are the Sunnah. They are the congregation. They are that peg or that foundation that holds the example there. They are the congregation that enacted the living society of Islam. And just as we lose the message and understanding of the disciples of Jesus over time, so that now we no longer have any clear record of what they all agreed upon, the same cannot happen for Islam. And so that Sunnah, that Jamaa'ah, must be preserved. And anyone who goes against the companions in a matter of faith, then what they are doing is they are falling into the trap of the very first point or peg in the destruction of the way we maintain our faith. Anyone who contradicts the companions of Allah's Messenger in any affairs of the religion, then he has fallen into disbelief. Now the gravity of this point is so immense that he starts by saying, "O Allah, have mercy upon you. Know that the religion is what comes from Allah the Most High." It takes us back to this point. Did you think that the truth that you were searching for was something easy to get? It comes when the person's soul and mind and spirit is ready to receive. And it comes to people at all different times. It can come to the worst person, criminal, in the middle of his criminal act, or a prostitute while she's degrading herself. It could come to a bishop, or a saint, or a pope of another faith, or a rabbi. And all of a sudden Hidayah can come. The guidance is there. It can come to a rock star. It can come to a celebrity. But just like that, it can be lost. So it is not upon us to judge others or become arrogant. And that is why Imam Barbahaaree warns us by saying, "May Allah have mercy upon you. Know that what you're talking about is the religion from Allah, the Most High." If you don't understand the gravity of this point, then perhaps you're not ready to understand the gravity of this point. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.